Nuclear!
Hello, and welcome to another installment of the Design Football Fantasy Football League Fantasy Football Podcast. This week brought to you by Sleeper only fantasy football app and for fans by fans. This is the show where we take a look at the details and goings on in the league because we all know our commissioner will. I'm here with my co-host, as usual, Mr. RJ Wagoner. RJ, how are you doing?
Ted, I'm happy for another win. Sad to see another one of my receivers go down. Drake London, may peace be with you and your family. League as a whole, Division II is superior, but we will get more into that later on.
That's an interesting accusation. But let's get into it. We've got another member of your division, the commissioner here. Commissioner. Hello. Trev, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Ted. Happy, like RJ said, happy to get a win. Sorry for beating you when it came down to Brandon Aubrey there Monday night, but hit that 50-yarder scared me, but just wasn't enough for Superman. So happy to get the win, even though I didn't score very many points, but a win is a win. John, thanks for having me on.
Great to have you, Trippin. Why don't we get right into it? Let's talk about that first matchup, our first matchup today. Trevor, you beat me 102-96. There are a lot of reasons you might say why. Christian McCaffrey put up 32. Trey McBride kept you alive with 22. But the big thing, like you said, Brandon Aubrey, only 9 points. He kicked a 50-yarder on the first series when George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb were put in timeout because I think who was it? They were caught by who's the Cowboys coach?
Brian Schottenheimer.
Cowboys head coach caught them tugging each other off. Mm-hmm. So we put them in timeout for the first drive. It was just sad to see. I thought I had a chance with Lamar getting under 5 points and Devonta Smith with 1.3. I thought I had an in, but no. RJ, what did you think about this?
Yeah, I've said it before, the rich just keep getting richer. Ted, 16 points from your 3 receivers combined. Even though Trev, honestly, with a pretty sneaky bad performance and a win. Did you even have was it a lucky win or a?
Nope.
It still wasn't, right?
Somehow it wasn't.
Yeah. CMC, Puka, McBride picking up the slack for Lamar, Devonta, Jalen, and Woody. Trev, you have fallen short of your projection total for 3 straight weeks now, but on a 3-game win streak in those 3 weeks, believe it or not. Woody Marks actually had a season-high rush share of 86% in this game, despite his ass performance. Justin Jefferson averages 12.3 points per game with J.J. McCarthy, but without him averages 16.3. Get him out.
Call him 9.
Oh, that's so cringy, that whole 9 thing. ETN saw 19 touches to Bashel Tutin's 15, but before Tutin's injury, it was actually 15 to Tutin and 12 to ETN. So Tutin was kind of leading the charge there, Ted. Something to look at. Puka, 71% route share. I thought this was crazy. I did not know this. That's the highest route participation rate in his last 3 games. Because before that, he had 62%, 65%, and 55%. I know he was injured, but I thought he was playing healthy. But he just – oh, did I lose you guys?
Nope.
Can you hear me? Oh, okay. I didn't. Is he playing injured or he's just not playing every snap? Like I thought that was crazy low, but regardless, McBride has scored at least 1 touchdown in all of Brissett's starts this year. CMC has seen a season-long target share of 26%. Since that stat has been kept track of, starting in 2011, if he keeps on that track for a whole season, that will be the highest target share percentage for any running back season long ever. So, yeah, that's all I got. But yeah, like I said, rich stay richer. And good on you, Trev, for getting the win.
Yep. Like I said, happy to get a win. Was not a pretty week. Really disappointed in Lamar not doing anything. I mean, I texted Teddy, and I think you looked it up about how many games Lamar's played where he hasn't had a touchdown. And then meanwhile, Dak on my bench putting up 32. Maybe I just starting Dak, but still, like I said, happy to get the win. Teddy, not really much on your team except for your two running backs, Etienne and Cook, putting up 19 and 18. I think they both had maybe a late touchdown. But really nothing else going on except for Packers defense with 10. I think those were the only double-digit scoring besides Baker. But still, Baker only had 18. Not great. Yeah, CMC and Trey McBride kind of carried me. Love that Trey McBride is scoring touchdowns this year. Had him last year, and I think through this point he had 0 still. It wasn't until week 15 or something that he got his first touchdown. So that's great to see. Yeah, that's interesting about Puka. I wonder if that includes because I know the last couple games he's played, he's left early with injury. I wonder if that includes all the routes he missed while he was injured. But
I swear I have seen a lot of the game, though, where he is not on the field. As surprising as that sounds, I have noticed, where is Puka? Why is that, Trevor Whittington, the white guy with the long hair, why is he running routes with Devontae Adams? A lot of it doesn't make sense, and they do love their tight ends there and do a lot of 3 tight end sets. And whenever there's one receiver, it is Devontae. It usually is always Devontae.
So that's not great. Hopefully his production continues from what he was doing earlier in the season. But Devonta Smith with 1 point, but didn't really matter because of that Sunday night game. Ted, you had Amon-Ra and Dallas Goedert, and they only combined for 8 points. So kind of sloppy all around, low scoring, not even 200 total points scored in this one, but excited to get a win.
Yeah, I do think I deserve this loss because early on Sunday, I was a little tipsy, and I texted you, Trevor. I put on my Kevin hat and said, just getting the Tutty notifications, but I haven't looked at the score. How are you feeling? And I really think that cocky text, I think I had 4 touchdowns before 2 p.m. Eastern.
Yep.
And I totally deserve that.
Trev, hold on real quick. I also did see a stat. I don't remember the specifics, but it was something with, it might have been touchdowns thrown from Lamar or just had in general, or fantasy points. But specifically when he's thrown over, had 20 attempts or more, this was the lowest. It was either the only game that he hasn't had a touchdown throwing that many attempts, or the lowest fantasy score he's ever had with that many attempts. Something like that.
Yeah, it was weird.
He threw 25 times.
Yeah, I know he didn't get a touchdown, and he wasn't really running the ball, but for him to play the whole game and not get even 5 points is crazy.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the next matchup. We were talking about someone who deserved a loss, and let's talk about RJ. You beat Jack 137-99. Just looking at your team top to bottom, I was looking for a big number and thought, how do you score 137? But this was a team effort. This was deep. Rashee Rice, the only player under 11 points, and then Jack, not too much right about his. He only put up 99. Derrick Henry with 19. Maybe he's happy about that, but Zach Ertz with 6. Rome Odunze with 5. Breece Hall 7. If I were Jack, I'd probably – I can't even get in the headspace of Jack. There's just no entering. But RJ, how'd you feel?
Hello. That's what's in his brain. Empty. Yeah, start with the positives for me, just about everything. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. I loved my whole team's production. Obviously, wish Rashee Rice was able to do more, but Travis Kelce picked up the slack there. Purdy with the late start for me. I picked him up, I think, Sunday. Proved to be good, outscoring Caleb Williams, who didn't find the end zone like Lamar. Worst news, though, wide receiver, PCL injury for Drake London. Would be open. Yeah, go ahead.
I thought it was a group suicide pact, him and Michael Penix Jr.
Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah, it's like you've seen the movie Him. It's like football suicide ritual type thing. That's exactly, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It was actually. You're right. I would be open to trading Drake London if anyone did want to take a flyer on him. They say he could be back next week, but his injury combined with Michael Penix Jr. being out for the whole year, I think just destroyed London's value personally, because Kirk doesn't throw to him as much as he throws to, or as much as Penix threw to him. And the dreaded PCL injury with Ricky Pearsall had that. He was out for like 4 or 5 weeks, or 6 or 7 weeks. But who knows what'll happen with him. So that sucks with seeing him and Neighbors go down, my top 2 draft receivers that were actually doing pretty well. Jack, we do see some positives in his 2 running backs and CD, but that's about it. Jalen being drafted in the top slot with those quarterbacks is just crazy. And I think there have been a lot of talks this year about where we've drafted quarterbacks and if they were worth that draft slot. I think you have to see some pushback next year because no one wants to take that. I think there is a good amount of risk drafting a quarterback that high. But I just don't think the juice is worth the squeeze. Some stats for you. Dowdle saw 83% snap share, his highest with a healthy Chuba Hubbard on the team. Chuba's now the RB2. I don't see that changing anytime soon. Roma Dunze is averaging 9.2 PPR starts over his last 6 games. Great start, Jack. Kyron's last 4 games, he has 4 touchdowns, but has not had a rush share over 70% in any of those games. For a comparison, his first 6 weeks, he never was below 70%. So really not the best time for the Rams to start managing their workload with Kyron for Jack. Again, Rich just keep getting richer. Also, Purdy being the leading scorer for my team. That is now 6 straight weeks of a new person leading my team in scoring.
That's
so
a good
Purdy, Achane, Adams, Daniel Jones, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Rico Dowdle, the last 6 being my leading scorer. Love getting production from all these different guys. I'm leaving a little now. I'm a little iffy in my wide receiver 2 spot, but besides that, I still love my team, and I think I'll figure something out. I always seem to.
Yeah, especially, and just thinking about your team real quick before you jump in, Trev. Like, I think your team is definitely like with Drake London. Like, you could harbor a couple guys on injury for a few weeks. Just that's like a position you're in.
Yeah,
throw that out there. But Trev, what do you got to say about RJ beating Jack?
Yep, great performance from RJ. Like we said, solid numbers everywhere. That is interesting that you bring up about the quarterbacks. I don't know what round. Does anybody know what round Jack took Jalen Hurts in?
Was it not the same pick with Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Jaden Daniels? Like those 4 all went in a row. Actually.
Yep.
Why am I just saying this right now when I can actually look it up?
There we go. Bring out the board while you're looking for it.
Jack got Jalen Hurts in the 4th round.
Wow.
So it went Josh Allen, Lamar, then
Jaden.
Then Jaden Daniels, then Jalen Hurts.
So
and then Joe Burrow, all in the 4th round.
So Josh Allen, I would say Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson would be somewhat worth it, but the next 3, not at all.
Well, I was going to say, like, if you look at all of them, so what, Josh Allen and Lamar and Jaden were third round, and Jalen
No,
Hurts.
Jaden was the 3-4 turn. He was the first of the fourth, but yeah.
And then, so Jaden, Jalen, and Joe Burrow were all fourth round.
Yeah.
So that's what, five quarterbacks there. And if you think about it, like Josh Allen hasn't been Josh Allen. Lamar missed a month and had a bad week last week. Jaden been hurt. He's been pretty much useless. And then Joe Burrow hurt, useless. Jalen Hurts, I mean, hadn't been having that great of a year. So especially
Daniel Jones has more fantasy points than him.
Yeah. So it's pretty wild that really none of those have paid off very well for how early they were taken. So
yeah,
that is an interesting point. But good week for Derrick Henry for Jack, like we said. Devon Achane has been just killing it, which has really shocked me. He was somebody draft-wise. I mean, I had him last year, but going into this year, I didn't really want him. I wanted to stay away from the Dolphins just with everything they were saying about how that team was going to look, which turned out to be true. But even somehow with all that noise and all that bad production, Devon Achane is just consistently putting up big numbers. So that was a huge pick for you, RJ. Just a dominant performance, never really close. And scary time to be losing for Jack. And so, but good win for you, RJ.
Trev, I did have a question for you back when we were talking about your matchup, because I was just curious about Trey McBride. Did you want Trey McBride over Brock Bowers going into the draft?
Probably not. I knew I wanted.
I was so high on Brock Bowers, and I definitely had him over Trey McBride. I was just curious, since you had him last year, because
I assume Brock Bowers was taken before I got McBride. Yeah. I think in that spot, if both were available, I would have taken a tight end, and I probably would have taken Brock Bowers there. But with him already taken and McBride available, I went McBride.
I would have done that as well.
That's great. Just fun fact real quick. We're talking about Brock Bowers. Both Sam Laporta and Juwan Johnson are above him in points this season. That is crazy.
How hurt was Brock Bowers? How much did he miss?
He missed a good amount of time, I feel like. A few weeks. But
I mean, still, before the season, if you said that.
Yeah.
He missed 4 games. All right, let's keep rolling. Who do we got? Oh, big matchup. This was heavy hitters. Chase beat Kevin 87-73. This one was hard to look at for pretty much the entire league, because the entire league would have beat both of them. Chase, Mahomes only with 15. That's got to be tough. Jamar Chase, I think he was kind of upset with his team's performance. That's why he started spitting a little bit. He was getting frustrated. But for Chase, George Kittle and Stephon Diggs both had 15, 21. And then Kevin, really absolutely nothing. Like, if you look down his team, I don't know how you think that they would have scored more than 80 with Aaron Rodgers as quarterback, Tez Johnson, Theo Johnson. Just wild. RJ, what did you think about this one?
Kev did say lesser managers would have started Aaron Rodgers. I mean, that seemed to be a great pick. I mean, even if he did play the whole game, is Mason Rudolph still their backup? I looked up the backups points, and if they combined, it would have been 21, and still less than Brock Purdy, who Kevin could have picked up at any time.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to point that out because Kevin was texting me saying, "Who else? Who else is good? Who else?" And I just wasn't responding because I was thinking about picking up Brock Bowers, and I wasn't sold on Caleb Williams to be my starting quarterback, so I didn't want to give him any hints who I was thinking of. Anyways, extremely yucky game from both teams, but mainly Kevin. Tez Johnson and Theo Johnson, are they both Johnsons?
Yep, I think
Johnson.
They're
Johnson, more like Pfizer, if you know what I'm saying. That was one of the craziest starts I think ever was Tez Johnson. I did not have that on my bingo card. Kevin having Zay Flowers and who else on his bench, and then just deciding to pick up Tez Johnson and start him.
Ted McMillan with 29.
Yeah, that would have gave him the win. Josh Jacobs' injury didn't help. Rogers' injury didn't help. Jamar got ejected in this matchup. Did he get ejected? I just know he's suspended.
I think they ejected Ramsey.
They ejected
really?
Ramsey. He got suspended after the fact.
Okay.
After Spitgate came out.
Yeah.
A lot of spitters.
Chase's co-worker helped get him the win. George Kittle, big one there, doing most of the heavy lifting along with Diggs. Diggs is averaging 14.8 PPR points per game since week 3. He's had a 27.8% target share per game rate over that time. Sean Tucker's running back rush shares over his last 4 games. 9.1 in week 7. In week 8, 41.4. Week 10, 47.4. And this past week, 65.5 with a 44% snap share. With Bucky Irving most likely back, Rashad White's done. Chase might as well just drop him. Tez Johnson has seen a target share percentage of 11 over his last 2 games. Kevin's always so high on target share. I was shocked when I saw that he still started him. I had some very good stats for Tet, but I usually only talk about starters, so I wasn't gonna bring those up. Chase still riding with DK Metcalf, starting him, even though DK has now failed to score 10 plus PPR points in 4 of his last 5 games. That is despite having target shares of 25 and 28%. So that's kind of shocking to see from Chase, to still be starting him, even though he's been ass. But Division 2, just finding ways to win.
That's right. Division 2, find the ways to win. Yeah, just a gross game. I don't know how you win in this league with 87 points, but really a lot of weird scores this week. I feel like there were some just weird names scoring touchdowns, and none of the big names were really doing anything. But, yeah, I mean, then there's not much to talk about in this matchup. But Stephon Diggs, as you mentioned, I think I dropped him after week 3 after I had drafted him. So that would have been nice to have. But he's been a consistent guy for Chase. As like you said, while he's starting DK Metcalf, doesn't really have a lot of receivers on his team. Brian Thomas was out, so those were the only 3 receivers he had available were the 3 he started.
Especially with Jamar suspended, things get a little interesting with Chase at the receiver position.
Mm-hmm. But, yep, that's about all I got for this one. Yeah, Kevin should have started Tet, and that would have got him a much-needed win. But not even barely, 150 points total in this matchup. So
yucky.
What a lucky win for Chase after he had a very unlucky loss to you the week before.
Mm-hmm.
So, what goes around comes around, I guess.
I'm going to come.
Well, before you come, let's talk about our last Week 11 matchup. This one made me come. Monty beat Kyle, whooped him, 162 to 109. This was the wagon that Monty was talking about. Travion Henderson, almost 30. Bijan, almost 30. Josh Allen, almost 50. That was
nuclear.
Those 3 alone almost would have beaten Kyle. But, yeah, Kyle had an absolute doo-doo from Saquon. I mean, not doo-doo, like 10 points, but that's doo-doo for Saquon. And then Genty, did he have 6 rushes for 7 yards or 7 rushes for 6 yards? That Raiders offense sucks. And then Quinshon Judkins has been falling down a hill as well. Monty just destroyed him. He is somehow still alive. And I don't. It's not this week, but next week or the week after, I think he plays Kyle, and that will be monumental.
Wait, he plays Kyle again?
Oh, never mind. Take it all back. Take it all back. Take it all back. But this week it was monumental because if he outscores Kyle, Monty could pivot himself.
Yeah. Yeah, week after Kyle praises the Bink team, the Bink goes out there and shows what he's capable of. Josh Allen scores 3 times Kyle's whole team in touchdowns. Kyle's team had 2 touchdowns. Josh Allen had 6, 3 throwing and 3 rushing.
Disgusting.
If the Bink scored 4 more points in this matchup, he would be 4th in most points scored in the league. Think about that. The Bink is 4 points. He is in 5th for most points scored, and if he scored 4 more, he would have been 4th. He is inching up there in points scored. But 92% snap share and 46% rush share from Travion Henderson. I know Ramondre Stevenson was out, but let's compare some numbers real quick. Just success rate, Henderson 40%, Stevenson 32%, EPA, which is expected points per rush, Henderson plus 0.02, Stevenson minus 0.35, rushing yards over expected rush, Henderson 0.6, Stevenson 0.4. Give Henderson the ball all the time. He's a young workhorse. I think it's clear there who's the better running back is, and if they do that, the Bink has a lot of potential, a lot of girth at his running back position. Not great production from Waddle, but he has seen target shares of 33 and 35% over his last 2, which are his 2 highest of the season. Bijan actually saw his highest rush share of the season, 88.5%. That just shows that if he was used as a workhorse, say if Tyler Algier went and got shot in Manhattan like the Jets cornerback, and Bijan was the lead back, he'd be putting up JT type fantasy numbers week in and week out. Quinshon Judkins, he has scored 4.7, 10.5, and 5.9 PPR points over his last 3. He's only hit double-digit percentage target share once this season, and it came in week 4. He did have a 39% route share against Baltimore, though, tying his highest mark of the season. It's so hard because Quinshon Judkins is getting the ball, but he has not been producing his last few games. But like I've said, every matchup, Division II is hot.
Yep, the Division II sweep. Big win for Monty. The Bink is not dead yet. And everything this week that he needed to have happened. I mean, he got a win. Teddy, you lost. Jack and Kevin lost, which I guess doesn't really help him too much, but everybody at the bottom lost and the Bink won. So you can't call him out yet, but he's going to need to keep winning. But yeah, just a massive performance. Just a little too late to get hot, I think, but love to see that production from Travion Henderson after all these weeks where he hasn't been doing anything. Not a bad week from Kyle, especially when the scores were low. But yeah, having 2 touchdowns. Is that what you said he had? Just 2 touchdowns on his team?
Yeah, Drake May threw for 1 and Nico caught 1. Yeah. Oh, I guess his defense did get 2. So
okay.
I guess
so you got a couple more there, but not great. I remember Kyle had that stat from a few years ago where talking about your percentage likelihood of winning with how many touchdowns you get. And so touchdowns are big. 12 touchdowns. Wow. I'd like to see how many Chase had when he lost to you that last week. But
yeah. Had to be less than 5.
Had to be. You don't lose if you score more than 5.
You get 5, you win.
But yeah, great performance from Monty. Keeps his hopes alive. So
yeah, I'll move quick through the breakdown league outlook since
I had a request real quick, just like while you're talking about it, if you want to pepper in, if you go to the coach, I feel like we don't talk about the coach rankings. Like maybe we should talk about, who's at the top and who two are at the bottom of the coach rankings. Through the season. I don't know.
I want to mention something. Yeah, we can talk about the coach, but I want to mention a skewed stat within the coach. I'd love to. I will do that after this breakdown. Chase is still in first in the breakdown by 3 games, even with a 1-6 week. Next is Trevor and I actually tied at 47. Wait, I have 47 and 48. I assume it's 47 and 38. Anyone have it up?
47 and 30.
Oh, 47 and 30. Kyle actually joins us as the 4th person now in the over 500 club at 39 and 38. No, he doesn't.
No, I'm just looking at where I'm at. I'm shaking my head looking at me.
6 games below Kyle is Kevin at 33 and 44. Then Monty, 32-45. Jack, 31 and 46. And Ted, you were 29 and 48. Points scored. I have jumped Chase. I am the most points scored in the league by 11, which was a pretty huge jump. I think I was down 40 or 50. Trev is about 75 points behind that. Craziest thing here, I've already mentioned it. Ted is actually 4th in points scored, and the person behind him is the Bink, 4 points behind him in 5th. And then, so it's almost a Division II sweep at the top 4 spots. But then after that, after the Bink, it's Kevin, then Kyle, then Jack, all within 50 points of each other. Yeah, we can talk about the coach, but I do want to preface, because we don't have a waiver wire. When you pick someone up mid games, that counts against your coach. So a lot of times when people go off, your coach is negative, even though you could have never put them in your starting spot. So I think the coach doesn't correlate.
Top of the coach.
What do you say?
But who's at number 1 in terms of coach ranking?
The number 1 coach,
who's the best fantasy coach
by 57 points, is Cooley Beans. There you go.
Boy, Coach Cooley.
No, I was looking at the coach and I was thinking, why is that true? And I think it's just because your coach goes up if your bench sucks ass.
Yeah.
If you have a deep bench who you have one player score 15, but then someone on your bench scores 25.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't really make sense. But and also, usually I think I've looked at this, but my beginning of the year, usually my coach is so bad because I pick up a lot of guys. Yeah, I've had 45, 43, 22. That's usually where a lot of my worst weeks come at the start of the year.
Week 9, your coach was minus 90. You had 90 points on your bench.
Week 9?
Week 9.
Jesus.
Wow.
I wonder who I picked up in week 9 that went off.
That's interesting, Teddy, that you can't be too upset about your breakdown record when you're 4th highest point scored.
Yeah. You either go off.
I go off when everyone else goes off.
Yeah.
Or I do just well enough. But I don't know if that does make – I just care about I don't care about fantasy points. I care about the win. And I wanted to say just something real quick about Division II being the best. But I think Division II is so top. You guys get your easy wins. Division II. I think of Division II like the Big Ten. You got the big top dogs who just destroy the bottom dogs. But here in the SEC,
the whole bottom dog is Division I.
Here in Division I, we're a bloodbath. Each team is so good. It's a win in Division I just means more than wins in Division II.
There are only 3 teams. You want to talk wins? There are only 3 teams in the league over 500, and they're all in Division II. Everyone in Division I is below 500.
Well, yeah, is what I'm saying is Division I where we're fighting and clawing. We're working. It's different. We got different referees. We're playing different sort of football than Division II.
We all play each other. We're not in separate conferences.
No, but it's
The only
Division One
thing
and
is the
Division Two.
snacks and drinks.
Division 1, Division 2 is what I'm saying. It's like completely different where you guys are just you're playing a bunch of patsies where we have to play the best teams in the league week in, week out.
Which is
Division 2.
Division 1 is shit. Just like the snacks you bring are shit. Bring that bottle of squirt.
Yeah, I've always brought drinks. I don't know when I got off the.
I've always brought both, and usually I brought a lot of both.
I couldn't tell you which one is supposed to bring drinks and which one's supposed to bring snacks.
Well, we've got a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back. Trev, you got like 4 minutes? We can blast through these.
Nah, it's all right. They'll be all right. Go ahead. This is more important.
All right, let's get into the Week 12 preview. Now, I think A6 might have another cry for help, but RJ, you let us know.
As we begin the preview of Week 12 of the 2025 ZFFFL, I must remind you of a great sponsorship over at our ZFFFL A6 Sportsbook, A6 Footwear. Let's get into the preview. A6, a sound mind is a sound body. That's all they had. Short and sweet. They had nothing.
Keeping it clean.
Well, let's get into this one. This one was almost the matchup of the week, but we've got a bigger matchup as the matchup of the week. This one is the Hillshire Farms Who's Got More Meat matchup. Because I want to know who's got more meat between you two sitting right here, RJ versus Trevor. Classic case of depth versus peak. Oh, God. Please, no. Trevor, your team has the high, but people are worried about your depth. You can't rely on CMC, Lamar, and Puka. RJ, on the other hand, you might need someone to bust out a 30 rack to get above Trevor. But RJ, you can let the sports book maybe sprinkle in your own analysis.
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier. I got the troubles now with another receiver injury in London, losing London and Neighbors. I think people kind of forget, about Malik Neighbors, how hot he was, especially the first half, I guess, of Jackson Dart's career before dying. And already an injury-riddled team, according to Kyle's stat. Achane on bye as well certainly doesn't help. Woody Marks on Thursday. And if it's close on Monday, it should be a fun watch with Purdy and Dowdle versus CMC. Ultimately, the book sees my injuries and bye weeks. They don't like it. Would like to note the newcomer right now in the starting lineup, Zay Flowers on the squad. I have tried to trade for him 5 times this year. Finally got him off waivers. But like I said, the book doesn't like my injuries and bye weeks. Trev, you are minus 3.5.
Wow.
I was also hoping, I assume you didn't look into it, but also to note or to mention however many days it's been since you've beaten me in the regular season.
Yeah, it's been a while, so that line, that spread kind of surprises me. But big matchup for the buys here. You obviously got me in the first round go around, so I really need this one to get closer to that buy and to make our records 1-1, especially me being behind you and Chase in the points for. I can't take another loss here.
You were 1-1 against Chase, right?
Yep.
So yeah, you need a win.
I need this win here. Yep. But should be interesting, like you said, Monday night with Purdy and Dowdle and me having McCaffrey. Really might not get a good feel for where this game's going to go until late because I've got McCaffrey Monday night and Puka Sunday night.
Yeah.
So my big guys are late, and I think McBride's at 4. So if there's 3 of my powerhouses there who aren't even going to kick off till McBride at 4:00. So could be a while till we know for sure the outcome. Definitely should come down to Monday night unless one of us has a big performance. But I need a kicker. I just saw. That's interesting. Okay, make a note to do that. But
my kicker also got hurt. Eddie Pinheiro.
Oh, mine's just on high.
I had to pick up someone.
Can I have Jason Myers?
No.
Trev, you want Brandon Aubrey before the trade deadline?
No, please.
Ooh, might have to talk today, Ted. I do like me some Brandon Aubrey. I think that he purposely let me win last week. He hit that 50-yarder just to scare me and be like, remember what I can do for you.
Yeah, he's like, you. I know you want me. I know
he misses you deep down.
But then didn't want to do anything after. Just give me the win. Nope, it should be a good matchup. Big one. Got it. I'm calling this one the ZFFFL Marvel Avengers matchup because we got these superpowers at 8 and 3, and I'm trying to avenge that loss from earlier. So I'm going to have to take myself minus 3.5.
All right, let's get into the next matchup. This is another good one, but surprisingly good. We've got this is interesting. Sponsored by Wicked for Good, out in theaters everywhere this Friday. Make sure you get your tickets, get your seat. This is the Wicked for Good, I'm Not That Girl matchup because both these teams are trying to prove some reputations. Chase has had some down weeks. Monty wants to prove he's not 2-9. Looking at this, Monty could definitely use some nuclear performances from those 3 who went off this week. Travion Henderson, Bijan, and Josh Allen. And Chase, on the other hand, he has JT back, but his other cast of characters looks like spittle coming secretly out of a helmet because Jamar Chase is out. He still has DeAndre Swift. I don't know who his wide receiver 2 is, but this could be interesting. RJ, what does the book think about this somehow lopsided maybe towards Monty matchup?
Yeah, Monty's still fighting. Chase wants to buy. Would Chase end the season of another Division II foe or keep him afloat for one more week? That's the storyline here. Josh Allen on Thursday for the Bank. We kind of get to see where this one goes early. Ends with Kittle for Chase. Chase gets JT back. That's also another storyline here. But like you said, Jamar suspended for public urination. But the books, looking at this, that kind of agree with what I said earlier. Not a big fan of Chase's receivers right now, and losing Jamar really hurts. Believe it or not, this has the Bank minus 1.5.
It's probably been a while. Bink has been favored.
Binky favored. I'm calling this one the ZFFFL David versus Goliath matchup, strictly based on records, but the Bink favored. That's crazy. But I agree with that analysis. Chase's receivers right now are Diggs, Metcalf, and Jamison Williams. And Monty benefits. I don't know if someone's already said this, but Monty benefits with Jamar Chase being out, having T. Higgins.
Oh, yeah.
So now he's got T. Higgins, number 1 receiver for the Bengals. And potentially with Joe Burrow. We'll see. He's got breaking news that he was a full. We'll see. I just got a breaking news for a second straight day. He has taken snaps with Cincinnati's starting offense, preparing him for the possibility that he will play.
Wow.
So that'd be crazy. But yeah, I mean, it's do or die for the Bank. I mean, he's got to win, or I believe he's eliminated with a loss. So that being said, I feel like this time of the year when teams can maybe start being eliminated from the playoffs, they always do well and push till like week, I don't know, maybe at least 13, 14 until teams start being officially eliminated from playoff contention. So with that history, I think that the Bank gets the win here. I will take him minus 1.5. to keep his hopes alive.
Well, look, now we've got our next matchup. This is sponsored by Grindr. This is the I am not a bottom matchup because both of these teams want to prove that they belong on top. They want to be little princesses and receive the praise they feel like they deserve. This is Jack versus Kevin. Jack needs his team to play like stars. He's got a lot of name power on his team, but this season they have really not done that much. Jalen Hurts most of all, but also Derrick Henry, CD. Kyron's been doing well, but who knows? Kevin's team, on the other hand, his team is full of players. Name-wise, I dismiss. But he needs Josh Jacobs. We'll see if he's hurt. I hear he has several trades brewing. I believe people have been murmuring that he's the trade machine. But Josh Jacobs, Javonte, Chase Brown, he could use some big points out of them if they're even on his team at this point come Sunday. But RJ, what does the book think about this matchup?
Kevin's still going with the no kicker strategy until Sunday, which just doesn't make sense. Doesn't get started. This matchup doesn't get started until Sunday. Finishes with Tet on Monday for Kev. Personally, I just hate Jack's team right now. I hate the look of it. It's sad. It doesn't have much. Hey, get off. It doesn't have much firepower. Doesn't have much leadership. It seems like within the locker room. With that being said, the book agrees. Kev -6.5.
-6.5. Huh? I'm calling this one the ZFFFL must win, can't lose matchup of the week because this is a must win for both of these teams. I mean, think about based on the history, basically a win would get you in the playoffs here. So this is just going to be a huge matchup because a win will pretty much get you in, especially in our last matchup we haven't previewed yet with one of those teams having to lose. A win would be massive here, and a loss would be very scary heading into the last 2 weeks of the regular season. So just an insanely good matchup here. Going to be entertaining. Like I talked about with Binky having T. Higgins, we'll see if Joe Burrow plays for Kevin. That'd be perfect timing for him and a must-win. But just looking at the starting lineups here, Jack currently has Zach Ertz on bye in his lineup. Is Jack checked out?
I want you all to just some minor difficulties. Trevor, would you like to keep rolling and give your choice? It froze for me.
Yeah. I did?
Yeah, I think it all did. It must have been my internet because you both.
You didn't freeze on me.
Oh, well, I'm going to go with Kevin, -6.5.
Wow.
Yeah. I think I don't know why. I just don't think I like Jack's team. So
it's a real rock and a hard place choosing between these two teams.
I think I will go with Kevin -6.5.
All right, moving to our matchup. I know you called this one. You called the last one a must-win, can't lose. I'm calling this is the ZFFFL FF Pod matchup of the week. I'm calling this sponsored by Jeffrey Epstein's estate. This is the fuck or fly matchup because quite literally, if you don't win, you might as well fly yourself to a private island, get caught by the FBI, fly to a federal prison, and find yourself hanging by your bed sheets because your season's done.
Allegedly.
At this point, basically. Yeah, we all know what happened. But looking at for Kyle, I think he needs the Raiders to have a big week because they're playing Cleveland. Cleveland has a good defense. If Genty and Bauer struggle, that could hurt him. Saquon, Dallas has a bad defense, but he's been doing ass anyway. For me, I need my star players who have not been playing like stars, like James Cook, Jake Jettas, who I think is a great player, just holistically. And if anyone wants him, please take him. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Tyler Warren, could use them to play like the stars I feel like they are, but have not been playing like, and probably aren't. But RJ, what does the book think about this insane matchup?
Yeah, Lad McConkey hung like a motherfucking donkey on a bye for Ted, along with Herbert and Waddle for Kyle. Kyle being able to fill in with Pickens, I think, sort of negates that bye trouble with Waddle. I know Waddle pretty solid, but Pickens has been great too. For the first time in ZFFFL history, we could see the double tight end usage here. I believe it would be the first time with Warren and Goddard, right?
Yeah.
If you keep that, both guys are actually done by 4 p.m. here in this matchup. James Cook versus Nico on Thursday to start them off. Book likes Kyle's squad, but it is a close one. -3.5.
-3.5 for Kyle.
Yeah.
Yep, Teddy, you said the exact words I had for this matchup. ZFFFL matchup of the week. This is going to be a great one. That's interesting that they're done at 4 o'clock. We're going to know early. The loser of this one is going to be feeling terrible because they are guaranteed to be in 7th place and a game behind with 2 remaining games left. Just everything on the line. Teddy, who won the first time you guys played?
I believe I did. I believe.
Interesting. That's huge. Because of that, for my pick, I'm going to think that Kyle wins to make this 1-1 and make it interesting. Otherwise, I don't really have a strong opinion. So for my pick, I will take Kyle -3.5. But should be a great one. I think, honestly, what Monty needs out of this one is a tie. So
we'll see if we get our first tie.
That might be best for the Bink to get these teams tied and stay at 4 wins so that no one's going up to 5. But should be a great matchup. But yeah, since you won the first time, if that is correct, I will take Kyle -3.5.
What if Kyle won the first time?
I would take Teddy +3.5.
So it's nothing to do with the players.
Actually, you know what? To make my pick official, let me just check that real quick. If you're not certain,
I'm trying to look too.
It would have been week 5. Yep, Teddy won 112 to 105. So I will take Kyle -3.5.
Well, all right. Well, that is it for the Week 12 preview. And I think that's it, unless you guys have anything else to say. Kind of a quick pod, but our viewers might notice this is coming out on Thursday. But RJ, Trev, got anything else to say?
Coming out on Thursday, get those bets in.
Trev, you got a TNT FFTF?
Oh, shit. I forgot.
Oh, my God.
That's tonight, isn't it?
I have one.
Whoa, give us our TNTFTFTTT.
I'm not even – or do you want – yeah, go ahead.
Would you Josh Allen over 4.5 rushing yards in the first quarter.
I like the
odds?
What'd you say?
What are the odds on that?
I got +110 on Hard Rock Sportsbook.
Ooh.
You know what? To ride with that bet and Josh Allen running the ball for the what was it?
It's your thing.
TNFTT. First touchdown tonight. Give me Josh Allen. Don't know what the odds are, but I will take Josh Allen.
All right. We shall see
First
what
touchdown.
happens.
Josh Allen first touchdown is +450 on Hard Rock Sportsbook.
Love it. Love it. Book it.
Well, all right.
Trade deadline. Trade deadline.
Trade deadline Friday at midnight Eastern time.
Midnight Pacific.
Midnight
Tomorrow
Pacific time, 3 a.m. Saturday Eastern time. If you are a self-proclaimed trade machine, better see those trades.
The podcast will be going live on Twitch leading up to the trade deadline to announce any news, just like what MLB Network, NFL Network, they all do. We will be live on Twitch until 3 a.m. Saturday Eastern time to announce any trades and any rumors that we are hearing.
Mm-hmm. Well, as always, thank you for listening to the Designs of Football League Fantasy Football Podcast. Make sure to get those bets in before the Thursday night game in the A6 Sportsbook. Be sure to follow us on all social media platforms at ZFFFL FF Pod on all major platforms. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And as always, love you forever.